Так чё? Блять, хорошо, что это сундуки вот эти остались наверху. Заебись вообще, блядь. Да ты чё?
No. Oh, oh, didn't see you there. Hello, welcome to the video. Hello. I'm, of course, back from my trip to Venezuela. Believe it or not, you can actually become a multi-millionaire with just $1. It's $1 US. It's about time we, get into the story here. You see, I have compiled a sort of, call it a timeline of sorts, on my personal take of what the events are in the story time / nightfall time myth. You already know what this is. So yeah, if you disagree with this timeline at all, it's okay. I'm open to criticism. But also on that note, if this is the one and only timeline, the only right one. If you disagree, too bad, so sad. And yeah. Alright, let's break it down here. So, our good old friends, the natives in Beetsy's Place the Third, this is where the story begins. Not really the sort of actual true beginning of the story, but just sort of like what we know of as the closest thing to it. It's very simple, really. In the battle that nobody won, the natives stumbled upon Umbra Gate, which resulted in one of the natives actually being controlled by Umbra. In this scenario, Umbra, with the control of the native, decided to flood a beehive with this black ooze, which they then started to adapt as the new honey, because they seem to prefer it over that. I'd also like to take note of the bee's sort of figure in this. It looks like a normal ass bee. Any regular bee you'd see in IRL, you know. But just keep that in mind, okay? The forming of the bee court. This doesn't really have an actual game that I know of. Before the bee court, there were 3 bees, queen bees, fighting, possibly willing to kill each other for the throne. Now, clearly, this wasn't a very efficient use of time here, because, I mean, the bees had a job to do. They had to make the honey, that good honey. And you can't just be lollygagging for the rest of your lives, figuring out, okay, who's gonna be the queen? I don't know. You can win a game of Fortnite, okay? And that doesn't work. We're gonna have to kill each other. But the point was that something had to be done. And so Beetrenice, stand-up fella, steps in and says, all right, let's just split off into 3 different groups here. So that basically sums up the forming of the bee court. Next we got the bunny. This guy's a little bit of a controversial figure here, in my eyes at least. And, well, I'll basically get to that at the end of the video. The bunny comes across good old Umbra, and, well, things are, let's just say old, shall we say. I personally, I don't know how long exactly it has been since the natives first stumbled upon it, but clearly it has been through some wear and tear. And, well, from there, you know what happens. Bunny gets turned into Umbra form. Very scary, very spooky. Now, around this time, this is where we sort of get into Mopherius' storyline here, which all starts with Allaras leaving her home to pick flowers, a decision that, while at first, honestly, I feel bad for the girl. It was a lose-lose situation. She either stayed in the city and died because of the invasion, or left the city and died because she got stung. It was just an unfortunate time for her to just be alive. That's the best thing I can say about this situation as a whole. She leaves a note for her mother and sets off to her cousin's house, who's got all the swag flowers that a flower lover like herself would want to pick. And that house belongs to good old Mopherius. After this, though, the city goes into abandonment. Yes, the city goes into abandonment. Great wording. The place is thrown into chaos because of an invasion of sorts. Details aren't really that well known. All we know for a fact is that the bunny was involved, and man oh man, that a menace to society and to me, of course. If I saw him in real life, I'd just say, okay, listen, buddy, over my dead body, are you gonna ruin this theory? Then we get into the tragic story of Allaras' death, but Mopherius' come up, his grind up, if you will. So Allaras, it's kind of weird to really explain this one, because there's no real evidence other than I've heard rumors, sort of, that the reason that Mopherius even kicked out Allaras in the first place, because when she tampered with the light, she fell off a chair, and allegedly Mopherius' grandmother actually died in a similar fashion, falling off a chair, which is why he sort of got emotional about the whole situation and kicked her out of the house. She was picking flowers and got stung, and, well, the second part of this story is that Mopherius found her sort of having multiple seizures and decided, oh crap, better go to the hospital. But when he gets to the city, it is, of course, abandoned, and, well, any and all help Allaras could have gotten, even if there were medical personnel at the scene, it wouldn't have mattered. She was long gone. Just F in the chat. But alas, he buries her near her house. And this is honestly where we get into the sort of main current day, present day events of this game's myth. Now there's a little bit of a time gap here. We don't exactly know how Mopherius and Noz met. Why did I say Mo and Mo? Yeah. They somehow met, became friends. If I had to guess, it would probably have been a common goal to sort of fix this little debauchery that has gone on with regards to the Umbra Gates. I mean, Mopherius has a motive because, well, that's kind of what ended up killing Allaras. For a while, he was trying to get rid of the bees on his property, and if you notice in that game, the bee's shape is quite humanoid. That's not because of Roblox's limitations with regards to the player model creator. That is literally intentional. That is part of the mythos. You see, for that oogly googly goop, that black ooze transformed the bees into a humanoid sort of figure. And so now Mo finally understands, oh, okay, so that's how this happened, and probably got it from Noz, because Noz has motivation, since, well, part of his tribe, probably maybe his father, or maybe even grandfather, was murdered at the hands of Umbra. So they both got motivation to investigate this thing. Moving back to Beetrenice here and the B Court storyline, she gets exiled. Reason being is she killed her entire sort of kingdom, her, what would you call it? Well, I'm blanking on the word here, but just her squad. She got a squad wipe on her own team and was basically kicked for friendly fire. That's the best way I can put it in gamer terms. And now she is stuck on Cocoon Island, which is a pretty crap place to be stuck, if I'm being honest. No offense. I mean, wherever you call home, but I'm just saying, my personal opinion. Anyways, back to Mopherius here. So, the construction of the new story time is a result of Mo saying, I gotta get out of town, I gotta get out of here, and try and figure out what this thing exactly is. So what he does is, he wants to keep his hobby alive, but at the same time, he wants to basically research Umbra. And the only way to do that is to get to the gate. So he does this big galaxy brain play of building a storytime location on top of the Umbra Gates. It's amazing. Like, I honestly, when I came to that revelation, I was like, this man clearly has an IQ of 1,000. There's no other way to put it. And he got help from Noz and some of Noz friends, I believe, but we do not know who those other individuals are. However, another tragedy happens. Due to the nature of Umbra's abilities, which are mostly unknown, however, have something to do with basically possession slash sort of taking over a part of your mind, really, and transforming you, sort of, in not a very good way. Mopherius starts to feel unwell. He starts to get sort of the feeling that maybe it's stage fright, maybe he's just plain old sick, but in fact what's happening is Umbra's influence is taking a toll on him. Eventually he gives in and just sort of strolls into the gates of essentially hell, and yeah, that's how he kind of goes missing. That's why we see all those missing posters, because then Noz shows up, and this guy's like, okay, well, what happened here? Where'd this guy go? And Noz being the bro that he is, he goes on like a solo search party here to figure out what happened to this man. Eventually he does figure it out, and figures out how Mo, while he isn't completely trapped, he's sort of linked to the Umbra Gates now. And Noz also figured out how the bees are involved in this, which is something I'm not 100% sure about. One thing I do know is that Beetrenice's kingdom, which is the wooden spider game, in that Beetrenice is going through sort of a revolution stage. All queens of the kingdom go through it. She'll probably get over it, but it seems she was using the honey, aka the black ooze, for nefarious purposes, let's just say. So I kind of went on a little tangent there, but let me take a few steps back. So Noz figures it out. He sends a message to Mopherius in Umbra. However, Mopherius thinks that it may already be too late, and it basically has to do with the fact that the world's a mess. It's a catastrophe. The old Storytime location got completely destroyed by what looks like an earthquake, and basically the ground shattered, and well, when the ground shatters, the buildings shatter with it. And also, looking at the water level of the island, remember, this is the exact same island that was depicted in Beetsy's Place 3. The water level is crazy high. And another thing, black roots are growing at the side, and they look to basically consume the island, just sort of sink it. And that's bad, because if Mopherius is trapped in Umbra, stuck in those gates, or is somehow connected to those gates, not only can he not complete his research and figure out how maybe he can stop this from ever occurring again, because who knows, sinking the gates might not do anything to him at all, but also he'll die. We cannot lose that man, guys. He's too wholesome to die, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, just to tack on here, I kinda got a little ahead of myself, forgot to explain the plot hole and why I really hated that bunny. I suck at explaining stuff, so this is gonna probably add like a good 5 minutes to the video, but here we go. So you see, that bunny that attacked the city can be found in one of the, Beetsy's Place games, Beetsy's Place 2 to be exact, and well, according to my timeline here and my prestigious research, that is no bueno, because that bunny was turned into the Umbra version before this happened, before they were searching for Mopherius. Now, I don't know what exactly happened to the bunny after it attacked the city, but I mean, truth be told, a theory here is that in the Storytime events where you have Mopherius changing from his regular form and his Umbra form, well, it's just that. The bunny is changed back to its regular form and is sort of, I would say, maybe running surveillance on Noz. But I feel like it's just way too much of a coincidence that he's there. I could be wrong about this entire thing, truth be told, but if you say I'm wrong, I'm literally gonna punch you in the face. But truth be told, I mean, it's just kind of coincidental that the bunny's there. A little bit too coincidental, I don't know. So yeah, that was a real rapid fire sort of covering the story so far. Future thoughts, oh, is it? It just turned off. Future thoughts, I believe that the game is going to go into a direction where we're going to actually discover what's going on in the city, because we saw what happened to the city in the past, but what about the present? We haven't seen that yet. But yeah, I think the next major game will involve the plot of the B Court, aka the Three Kingdoms. What exactly are they planning to do with this power of Umbra? They've gotten their hands on it. They've researched it to a certain extent to where they know how to abuse it. What are they going to do with it? What's their strategy here? And also, who's the third missing queen? I'm also going to leave that one up to you guys, because the answer's out there, but I mean, just play the game. Play the game. Also, this might be a bold take, but to end this video off, I don't think Allaras is dead. I actually think she might still be alive. I don't know the exact details of where and how, well, what happened when Mopherius buried her, but, I mean, knowing the power of Umbra, you never know what could happen. It's the real big wild card in this entire myth. You never know what could happen. But that's enough of me chatting. You go out there, explore the game. This is a very quickly put together video. I know I haven't uploaded in like a month. I'm sorry, okay? I know I said I'd upload twice a week, and I'm sorry, but you know what? I'm betting my you see this? This is my pinky. I'm betting this. My right pinky. I'll upload. You'll see me in 2 weeks. Guaranteed. Yep, that's it. I don't got a catchphrase. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm going back to Venezuela, because, I mean, I still got to convert my currency back. I hope the markets haven't crashed. I invested way back in 2018, so we're going to see what happens. Hopefully I haven't lost all my money. See you.